once and for all. And every priest stands ministering daily and offering repeatedly the same sacrifices, which can never take away sins. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down at the right hand of God. From that time waiting till his enemies are made his footstool. For by one offering he has perfected forever those who are being sanctified. Hebrews 10, verses 11 through 14. Read the language of today's passage carefully, and you will notice something interesting. The author mentions that every priest stands, but then goes on to say that Jesus sits. That is because the business of running the sanctuary was never finished. Every sacrifice offered was symbolic, which meant that it could not actually serve to cleanse the sinner of guilt. A few verses earlier, we are told that it is not possible that the blood of bulls and goats could take away sins. The lambs and bulls offered at the altar were symbolic of the greater reality that was still to come. The Lamb of God, who would come to take away the sin of the world. Once the yearly cycle of sacrifices had been complete, the children of Israel had to start it all over again, because the reality had not yet come. That meant that the priests were very busy with the business of sin, day in and day out. But when Jesus gave his life at Calvary, he cried out, "It is finished." The cross is enough. The sacrifice of God's Son is sufficient for all time and will provide for you your needs forever. Jesus did not continue to offer himself daily, although he continues to represent us before the throne in order to apply the merits of his sacrifice to us. One of the great misunderstandings that arose in Christianity as it pushed into the medieval period was the notion that Christ had to be sacrificed by ordained clergy every day for sinners to find forgiveness through his blood. The emblems of the communion service, bread and the wine, were said to become the actual body and blood of Christ. And the communion table was described as an altar. When studied through the lens of Hebrews chapter 10, we know that what Christ did at the cross was enough. The bread and the wine are symbolic. Read it again and have faith in what he has accomplished for you. When he gave his life for you and for me, he was able to sit because the work of sacrifice was utterly complete. He was and is the ultimate sacrifice. Today, you can rest in the knowledge that the cross is indeed enough for you, and that there is nothing you can add to Christ's sacrifice that will make it any more efficacious.